Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to today's episode, where we dive into the latest innovations transforming industries. Today, we are exploring the future of cold chain logistics, an industry that plays a crucial role in global food security, pharmaceuticals, and supply chain efficiency. I am Akash from Tab Group, your host for today. With artificial intelligence and IoT that are reshaping the way perishable goods are stored and transported, the need for smarter, more efficient cold chain solutions has never been greater. And to discuss this today, we have Mr. Lakshmi Mohan Saripalli, COO and Director at Firmcompute, a company at the forefront of cold chain technology. Firmcompute is also our proud sponsor for the upcoming second World Cold Chain Expo, taking place on 10th and 11th of September at Festival Arena Dubai, where industry leaders, innovators, and policymakers will come together to shape the future of cold chain sector. Today, we talk about the major trends, challenges, and solutions driving this transformation and why the expo is must-attend event for anyone in the industry. So let's start with the big picture. Cold chain logistics uh, has never been about precision and efficiency. But with AI and IoT and automations coming into the play, the landscape is changing very fast. From perspective, what are the biggest technological shifts driving this change?
The key aspects of the technology that are driving this change are twofold. One thing is affordable computing.
Mhm.
Today, with newer LLM models coming on the AI front, computing is becoming more affordable from an AI standpoint. Traditionally, the GPU computing has been extremely expensive, not affordable to common man, but now that is becoming very affordable. Second thing is what I would call a flood of innovation happening on the consumer side of technology, which now increasingly is being adopted by the industry. For example, traditional IoT based systems in the cold chain used proprietary radio frequency technologies to transmit data. But increasingly, with technologies such as LoRa, long range Bluetooth, long range Wi Fi coming into picture, these battle tested consumer technologies are now getting adopted into the cold chain. So, these two aspects, that is, affordable GPU computing, affordable AI, and consumer grade battle tested technologies that can now be adopted into the industry without hesitation. These are the two key areas that are driving innovation in this aspect.
So this sounds very promising. And then coming to the next question, we have seen reports showing that how AI-powered predictive analysis can help prevent spoilage and also reduce waste significantly. So can you share an example of how Firm Compute's technology is making an impact in this space?
Great. So one thing that's a very common utility that we have for AI that we all use every day is, for example, we log on to Meta's AI on WhatsApp, or we log on to Chat GPT, for us to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, imagine these AI agents coming into the supply chain, whether it is fresh fruit, vegetable, pharmaceutical, or anything, coming into the supply chain, cold chain. Imagine these AI agents becoming assistants to your supply chain managers and your inventory managers. The innovation that we are bringing to cold chain is that using our sensors, I mean, Firm Compute's offering are basically built on threefold. We have our own sensors, which use the latest and battle tested technology. Then we focus on connected operations plus sensor fusion. So the outcome is operational intelligence. But how do you deliver intelligence to the ground manager, to the ground user? We deliver it via AI assistants. To be a point in the case that you mentioned, imagine an AI agent, which is like your typically like your colleague. It's like your colleague prompting you meaning your inventory manager, saying that, see, this has been there for so long. Now it's time to remove this inventory either from the system, or the inventory needs to reach the shelf today and get consumed. So
Mm-hmm.
this sort of an intelligence that can be proactively given, and the proactiveness comes because sensors are constantly tracking the inventory, whether the inventory has aged or whether the inventory is available for few more days. and the agent actively prompts you, saying the ground manager saying that this inventory needs to be shifted. So, and it can do much more. For example, the agents can collaborate with each other, and with human in loop can automatically prompt people to shift inventory. So this, number one, reduces spoilage, and number two, brings the cost down. I mean, there is no point in wasting inventory if you can save it and you can take it to the end user. So this is a very practical use case that we have implemented at Firmcompute. We have implemented these AI agents, and our customers love them. Customers love them. I mean, it's like having an assistant to each supply chain manager, your own buddy friend that is AI enabled. And that's actually a reality. It is happening as we speak.
Right. So it's clear that technology isn't just optimizing your operations, but also ensuring a sustainable environment. And with the global supply chains facing disruptions, these solutions are more critical than ever now. Firm Compute has been a leader in the space, developing software tech solutions that enhance cold storage and logistics. So can you walk us through some of your key innovations now?
Great. So we have been at the last Cold Chain Expo that happened September last year.
Mhm.
And one thing that I would like to point out is since then to now, the innovations have been moving at a rapid pace. And the most importantly, it's not just the innovation, it's the adoption of the innovation that is moving at a rapid pace. For example, at the last Cold Chain Expo, we launched our digitally signed PDF data loggers. Today, the PDF data loggers that we see and from all our competition are just plain vanilla PDFs, and everybody knows PDFs are not tamper-proof.
Yeah.
But we raised the bar by launching PDF data loggers that carry a digital signature with every report that they generate, tamper-proof. So this has now seen wide adoption. Customers love the product. So one thing is to bring the tech. Second thing is to ensure that the tech goes into the field and delivers the benefits. So this is one key thing that has happened. That is adoption of these data loggers. Second thing is during the Cold Chain Expo. In fact, in my presentation there to the audience, I also spoke about predictive analytics and AI agents. So we launched them there. So we were thinking, is the industry going to be agile enough to adopt them? But we have seen adoption. So not only adoption, but we, I would say, customized our AI agents to now feed on domain specific AI. For example, there are agents not only for cold chain, there are agents for warehouse management. There are now agents for inventory management, and these agents are talking to each other. So connected operations via connected agents that are spread across your supply chain, from warehousing, transportation, across the cold chain till your operations. That has now become a reality. So this is an innovation that happened, very in a very short period of time. And
Mhm.
that innovation is driven by customer wants. Customers are asking us, and we are delivering these innovations to them. So these are two important things. There are many more, but these are two important things I think are having a huge impact on the cold chain, and we are able to see that impact in practice.
So that sounds very impressive to us. What makes Firm Compute's solution stand out compared to the traditional cold chain management approaches?
Yeah. So Firmcompute's solutions address directly the pain points that the supply chain managers in cold chain have. One of the key pain points that supply chain managers in the cold chain have is visibility, on demand visibility.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on demand visibility has been there by virtue of IoT, meaning you could always go and check on your dashboard whether something went wrong. Now, firm compute raises the bar. If in a firm compute system, the system tells back the manager, like your trusted assistant, saying that, this is an exception, this is something that you need to look at it. I have looked at the data. This forklift is not being optimally used. The rack space is not being optimally used, or the temperature has been breached, so on and so forth. So the visibility comes now out of proactive monitoring. Now, the proactive monitoring is being achieved by what we call as agent-based managed monitoring. And these are AI agents.
Mm-hmm.
So traditionally, you would run a complete supply chain operation, you would have a full department. Now, what we are adding to that is we are augmenting these supply chain departments with our AI agents. So this is a second thing that is coming. So proactive visibility is the key pain point that firm compute solution address, and our customers love it.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're not just innovating, but completely redefining how businesses approach the cold chain logistics. And now I imagine that kind of efficiency translates into a major cost savings for your clients. We often think of cold chain logistics in terms of infrastructure, cold chain units, refrigerated trucks, and so on. But today, software is just as important. How is firm computing using software driven solutions to optimize the cold chain logistics?
Yeah. So it's a very important question because there is a perspective to it. When we talk of software driven solutions, there are two ways that you would look at software. One way is you have the latest, the greatest, the best AI, and you go ahead and say, let me replace my existing software stack. It's a huge infrastructure cost. I mean, our customers, companies have invested millions of dollars in their existing software infrastructure. So if
Mhm.
you go ahead and tell me that replace this, then that's not the best use case for me. What firm compute is doing from a software standpoint is augmenting the existing software, building a layer on top of the existing software and below the existing software. Think of it like fortifying your existing tech stack. Now, this requires innovation at the input and the output. So what we are providing is that we are plugging in to existing software using application programming interfaces, using web hooks, and using something like what people keep buzzing saying microservices. So what
Mhm.
we are doing is that your existing warehouse management system stay, your existing inventory management system stay, our software interacts with them, uses the data from these, extracts the data from these, and presents it to you using different mechanisms that again you are familiar with. For example, I extract the data from my sensors, extract the data from in your inventory management systems, and give this data, synthesize this, look at it, analyze it, and chat with you on your Slack or your Google Workspace chat or on your Microsoft Teams channel. So you don't leave the familiar interfaces. So our software basically acts as a glue, just that it's an intelligent glue, and the glue adds value to your operations. That's how we are looking at software.
That's a game changer, I guess. So, especially in the industries like pharmaceuticals, where the precise temperature control is a non-negotiable thing. Do you see companies fully embracing these solutions, or is it still some hesitation in the market?
One thing, when it comes to companies like pharmaceuticals, the hesitation is only because of compliance. For example, in pharma, you need whatever solutions that you provide, especially need to be 21 CFR Part 11 compliant. So, as long as solutions can demonstrate 21 CFR Part 11 compliance without any compromises, pharma customers would love to adopt it. Yes, there is a process that takes place, to ensure that the compliance is complete, the compliance is proper and well validated. But that's just a part of the process. End of the day, pharma makes something super critical, and
Hmm.
unless you do the due diligence on anything, it can't be deployed. So I wouldn't call it hesitation. I would just call it part of the process. But yeah, they are willing to adopt, and there is no hesitation to adopt. There is just time to adopt, and which I believe is a normal thing. I mean, you need to ensure whatever you deploy in pharma goes through the rigorous process, is compliant with all FDA norms. That's just a part of the deployment, part of the domain, nothing different. Pharma customers, I believe, are among the forefront of innovation, and that's happening.
True. So this is very interesting. And it sounds like early adopters are already seeing the benefits of it. And it's only a matter of time before these technologies become industry standards. So with the rising demands for smarter and more sustainable cold chain collaborations is the key. What role do public-private partnerships play in driving innovations around this space?
Yeah, that is a very interesting question. Uh, the reason being that when we talk of public-private partnerships, we are translating that directly into regulators and industry player collaboration. Industry players are all the companies. Regulators are those who want to ensure public good. I mean, everybody wants to ensure public good, but the focus of the industry is to bring innovations, cut costs, deliver value to the customer. The focus of the regulator is to ensure that the customer gets a product or a service that he deserves. So it's essentially a regulator industry partnership. And we see a lot of proactiveness there. For example, especially in Dubai, we are seeing Footwatch. We are seeing, newer compliances that require GPS tracking. We are actively seeing in certain economies things like quick delivery boxes being standardized. So all this is happening for the public good, and the regulatory, closely working with the industry to understand what is viable now, what will be possible 3 months, 6 months, years down the lane. And we are seeing this in a lot of industries, this sort of a close collaboration happening. And the regulator is also being very adaptive. Regulator is now understanding, okay, this is possible now, and then from here we will move there. And regulators are becoming tech savvy. So we see that there is a whole lot of public, private partnership that is happening. Is a regulator industry collaboration that is happening, especially in economies like Dubai. We are actually seeing that this is like a, everyday improvement. So that's a huge shift from before.
This is very fascinating to understand it from your perspective. And now I imagine that events like the second World Cold Chain Expo are going to provide the perfect platform to foster these collaborations. Speaking of the expo, Firmcompute is our proud sponsor of the second World Cold Chain Expo, one of the biggest industry gathering. What excites you most about this expo and event?
Thanks. Thanks for asking this question. Because as businesses, we all enter, we all do expos with a purpose. The first Cold Chain Expo gave us a lot of valuable input. Like I said, the key thing the first Cold Chain Expo did is bringing a lot of players together. We had our competitors, we had industry partners, channel partners, system integrators, we had regulators, and we had end consumers come together. Now that has been a crucible of innovation. From the second Cold Chain Expo, I expect that the crucible will become larger, more effective,
It is
because
going to be.
the wave has started, and it's happening in a place like Dubai. I think Dubai is like East West comes together. So everything comes to Dubai, a great logistics hub, and everything goes out of it. So nothing like having the expo there, and exposing our products there, taking exposure from our partners there. We believe that drives innovation and allows us to put our product in front of the customer right away. I mean, the expectation is the crucible will become larger, and the expo will bring more stakeholders together. And I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it is going to happen for sure, and that's how events like these are so important for the industries. They bring together key players to drive the real innovation, and for those who listening who want to stay ahead of the curve in the cold chain sector, this is an event for you, and you can't afford to miss it. So, if you are in the industry, whether you are a business owner or a policy maker, doesn't matter if you are an investor, join Firmcompute and other global leaders at the second World Cold Chain Expo. You'll get first-hand insights into the future of cold chain technology and the chance to connect with top innovators. And now, before we wrap up, any final thoughts on the future of the cold chain industry from your end, Mr. Lakshmi Mohan?
Yeah. One thing is the cold chain industry is going through a lot of technology driven transformation, from materials to monitoring and prescriptive actions. I would welcome all the leaders, managers who are working in supply chain, cold chain, to visit us at the expo. I mean, I think this is the best place to be. September, I think you should all block your calendar, be there. We'll discuss innovation, and we'll discuss all the great things that are coming up. So, uh, I mean, my message is be there. Let's catch up. There's a lot happening.
Fantastic, fantastic. And now, thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Sripalli, and sharing these invaluable insights with us. And of course, a huge thank to Firmcompute to supporting us throughout the conversation and for sponsoring the second World Cold Chain Expo. And it's going to be an incredible event. And I personally invite everybody listening this interview to be present at the second World Cold Chain Expo that is taking place at Festival Arena Dubai on 10th and 11th of September 2025. Thank you again for joining us.
Pleasure mine. Thank you.
Thank you so much.